Everybody that's online from both from Facebook and YouTube, thank you so much for being here with us today. Um, Today is going to be a simple discussion with some of our friends, our colleagues who are living um, outside their home countries. And let me remind you that it is not only in Ghana. We are going to get some people who are going to watch us from all over the world. So um, we are not going to try and limit the discussion to only Ghana. Our subsequent speakers are going to be people who are coming from other countries as well. What we are going to discuss today is going to be about the life before, during, and after you travel to other countries, how you go about it, and for the speaker and myself, we are all students, so we are going to try as much as possible to narrow the discussion towards graduate studies, getting scholarships to travel outside, studying outside, the life outside Ghana, and how it has been so far for him. Um, this gentleman is a perfect gentleman, and as you can see in the flyer we were sharing around, as you can see, he's a blogger. He's he's a blogger. Plus, he's also an academia. So we're going to have a lot of insight discussing with him, and I believe that is going to be very interesting. So uh, let's bring the speaker on and see. Let's connect with him. Let's connect with Lenin. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Lenin.
That's one.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Senior man, how is it? How is it going? How is it going? Charlie, it's
I'm
been a
good.
while.
I'm good. I'm okay. I'm okay.
I think the
I'm
last
very
time we
fine.
met, we were doing. Well, I see a new KNUST.
That was several years back.
Yeah,
I
that.
hear recently he has won an election with that mantra.
Yeah. I see a new KNUST. That is the last time we met.
Yeah.
Senior, how has it been?
Yeah.
How has it been? How has life been so far from that time? How are you
Well, I
doing?
think God has been faithful.
Mm-hmm.
We've successfully gone through school, out of school, and back in school again. So I think we are doing okay. God has been good.
Okay. You went out of school and you went back to school.
Yes.
How is school treating you? You like it? Because majority of your colleagues, they ended it at the law. You have the professional law certificate. You're a lawyer. Why are you still going to school again? Why are you still going to school again?
I mean, well, the whole point to life is to keep learning and growing and bettering yourself. So if there are new things I think I can explore and enjoy, why not? I'll take it up and explore it and enjoy it. And that's just been it.
Yeah, but does it? Because I know that when we were young back at school, if they ask you what do you want to do, what do you want to do? If I say I want to become a lawyer, that is a big achievement, and you've done it. So what again? Why are you still going to school?
I mean, like you rightly say, I think it's a huge achievement. I don't underplay it, but then there's also room to always do more. So you always look to bettering yourself, like I mentioned. I mean, day in, day out, people are becoming lawyers. The goal is to do that which will make you stand out and also make you a better version of yourself. So we can't stop learning to what is chasing our stops.
Ah, but so what is the goal now? What is the goal now? Because you are
Well, I
moving.
mean, I came to school to do a specialized program. So Now, the knowledge I've acquired through this masters, I guess I would infuse it into my practice and what I was doing, and then become a better lawyer, I guess. So,
Oh, okay. I mean, for me, I know you are a lawyer, and that's because we met at KNUST. And but I am not the only one watching this video. So, kindly share with us more. Let's see who Lenin is. Who is Lenin? Who is Lenin? Tell us a little bit. For those of us who don't know Lenin, let us see Lenin. Who is Lenin?
well, I always say the only essay I've been bad at writing has been myself. I'm always bad at writing essays about myself, but if somebody asked me who I am, the short thing the person would hear is that I'm a young man from there in Kwanta in the Ahafu region, and
Okay.
that almost everybody who knows me knows. Uh,
The dear
I, I had
Quanta boy.
yes, absolutely. I had my basic education there. Did senior high school is in James Seminary in Sunyane,
Okay.
and then did my LLB in KNUST. Went to law school, became a lawyer, and then came back to Queen Mary University of London. So basically, that is my academic trajectory. But personally, I think I'm somebody who just looks to finding the best in people and trying to see the best way I can also be the best version of myself. That has just been me, always trying to do better for myself and also helping others find
It
themselves.
was
That's
was
been
it
the
was it I mean, for me, for my senior high school, I remember back at Tech when I'm having conversations with people and they ask you which school did you attend. I am always, very reluctant to share because even if I mention the
that's
name, you don't know the school, you don't know it. But how was your senior high school? Was it because people who become lawyers, they are not they are not small people. They are not small people. So how was your school? Is your school that big school? The first class, second class,
Oh,
big
I am
class.
proud to say I went to one of the best senior high schools in Ghana, St.
Eish.
James Seminary, for about the past 5 years running. We've been leading the WASI chart at the Ministry of Education. So
Oh, okay.
I'm actually very proud of the school I went to, except that we are not loud like the others. So,
This
for us,
you are
if you know,
throwing
you
shade. You
if
are
you
throwing
know, that is
shades.
St.
You are
James now.
throwing
St.
shade.
James is, that is our status. We don't make a lot of noise. But I must say the
Alright.
high school for me was very enjoyable.
Mm.
And it was enjoyable because it played a significant turning point for me. Prior to going to high school, I wanted to be a Catholic priest. It's actually why I went to that school. I went to St. James Seminary as a seminarian. So I was supposed to be a Catholic priest. But it was while in school, my involvement in debate, it was there I discovered my passion for debate and argument. It was there that I started thinking of alternative career paths. It was there I got initiated into leadership properly. And it was there I realized that, well, maybe being a Catholic priest is a sure way to heaven, but there are also other ways I may help humanity. So,
I see. I
high school
see.
for me was it. Absolutely. It was enjoyable.
Yeah. So still giving the shout out to those who've joined. I've seen that Livingston. I see you are there, and I see that my one of my favorite ladies, Adwa Safo, also is here, and they are all from KNUSC. And these guys, I am sure they know you. They know I see a new KNUST guy. So shout out to those of you who are still joining in. If you join, kindly share the link with friends. Let them come. We are just beginning. We just started. We've not gone anywhere. We are now talking about some introductory questions about himself, and then we'll dive into how he went about the whole traveling stuff. So shout out to Livingston and Adwa Safwa. If you are here, kindly just mention your name and I'll give you shout outs, and then you can share the video with your friends. I am not able to share right now because obviously I'm busy and I'm here alone, so I don't have anyone else. But the producer of the show, Hamidu Tayari, is also here. He's sharing. So shout out to my producer. Okay, Lenin, let's move on. Now we know a little bit about who Lenin is, but like I said, for me, I knew you from. No, I know from yeah, from tech, and but how was the law school in tech? Because we still have a always have a debate with the law school in other universities in Ghana. How was it for you?
Well, I would say again that KNUST, particularly Faculty of Law, was also another enjoyable point of my life. For some reason, I've always been a strong advocate of people balancing academics with other things they can do. And so, even though law faculty was enjoyable, I think the bigger part of my university life was dedicated to debate and student leadership, student politics. And I think it is in that blend between debate, student politics, and faculty of law that I enjoyed my stay in KNUST. So the faculty was enjoyable, particularly because of the other things I was doing. I
Yeah,
was quite known by a larger populace of the faculty, including faculty staff and
yeah,
the others.
yeah. I mean,
So
your during the time when you and Boachi Nyamicha Isaac, Kobi Amoa, and the rest during your time, you guys were vibrant, and so we knew you from all around the corners of KNUST.
yes.
But when you got to the law school at Mokola, for those of us who know where it is, how was it? Was it very competitive? I just want to know, when you got there. I mean, obviously, the law school is not going to be for only students from KNUST. So how was it? Was it difficult?
So in our time you had to do an entrance exams after faculty to be able to get into the law school. So we did the entrance exams and it came, thankfully we passed. And I didn't do my law school in Accra. I did law school at the Kumasi campus. So I was still on KNUST campus doing law school.
Oh, okay.
I did my law school on the Kumasi campus and I
Is
was
that
there
is that
throughout.
is that an option? I thought all of you would have to come to Mokola.
No, so the Ghana School of Law has three campuses. There's one at Makola, which is the main campus,
Mm-hmm.
and there's one at Green Hill, Gempa, and
Mm-hmm.
there's one in Kumasi. I
Mm-hmm.
think recently they've added another one at UPSA. So
Oh,
when you
okay.
get admission, they spread you among these three
But why
campuses.
why did you choose to stay at Tech? Were you scared? Why you were afraid of competition?
Why would I be afraid of competition? I mean, the fact that you're in Kumasi does not
No,
mean
but
you
we
don't
know
compete
that
with
those who
those
are
in
in
Accra.
Accra, they normally don't get through it. There's always competition. We see them in the news that.
No, there's no competition. You all sit for the same exams.
Mhm.
So if you don't pass, you don't pass.
Yeah, but maybe
So the
maybe you
fact
are scared that when you go to Accra, you will not pass.
Why would I be so? Anyway, I'll tell you a story. The reason I didn't go to Accra is that
Mhm.
so I initially wanted to go to Accra, and then we were supposed to do our interviews in Accra. So after you pass the entrance exam, you go for an interview. So I went for the interview, and I slept with a friend who had a hostel near the law school. It was just at the Makola market.
Mhm.
And at dawn, I had these people disturbing. I went there on Sunday night, so I didn't see anything. Woke up Monday, got out, and the whole marketplace was full of hawkers. And I thought to myself, given the peaceful life in Kumasi, I can't do this stressful life of having to walk through market women
So
and
are you
smelling of
saying those who go to
every
Mokola
morning.
are not serious? You are saying those who go to Mokola are not serious.
Please, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I'd rather did not want to go through the Momoni and plenty streets of Makola to go through the campus. So I'll stay safe and
Yeah,
enjoy my life in
you are saying
Kumasi
those
where
who
the
go to
people.
Mokola are not serious. Okay, okay. Let's move on. Let's move on from there. So yeah, I'm still giving the shout out. Albert Nyako is here. Albert Nyako is also here in the US. He's also here in Washington State University. We've connected. He's been here a couple of times. So we might speak with him one time for him to also share his experience. So Albert, I see you. Now once again, kindly share the link with friends if you are here so they can also come and watch the discussion. Lenin, let's move on from law school. So after the professional law course, you got the certificate. What did you do with it? What was next?
So in our program, you had to do 1 year academic work and 1 year internship. So you are supposed to either find a firm to do the internship with, or the law school will place you. So just before we finished the academic program, I applied to Ekufado Prempenko in Accra that I wanted to do my internship there. I was called in for an interview, so I had to come all the way from Kumasi. And at the time, I wasn't even so familiar with Accra, so my good friend Charles Spencer had to drive me to the office.
Oh, okay.
I did the interview, and then they told me I should go out hear from them. So while writing my final exams, I heard from them that I had been considered to come do the internship at Ekufado Prempenko.
So as soon you are talking about the Akufo-Addo we know, the Akufo-Addo we know.
Yes.
The president of the Republic of Ghana. His law firm, that's where you did your internship.
Yes, at the time he was a practicing lawyer. He founded that.
Then you are a big man, Lenin. You are a big man. You come from.
I'm just a young man.
When we get case, we send you a message when we get case, so that you can defend us. Okay, yeah. So after the internship,
I mean, as soon as I finished the internship, as soon as I finished the academic work, I came to do the internship. I did it for a year, and then applied to the firm to stay on after the internship. So I've been there since 2017, through internship from 2017 to 2018. And then I practiced as a lawyer from there to 2021.
Big man. I mean, for me, I know you are good. For me, I know you are good. And I think that even for those of us who watch the election petition, we saw a couple of times that you went with the lawyers who were defending the New Patriotic Party. And since the president is the president is the president or the leader of the, I think that it's only fair that lawyers from his firm will come along. But so how are you seeing your president? How is he doing? How is he doing now that you work with his firm? We don't want you to talk because he's your boss, so we want you to talk as a citizen, as a citizen of Ghana.
Maybe I have to point out the fact that he's left the firm since about 2006.
But his name is still on it, and it's still his.
Yeah, it's the point I want to make. So even though his name remains on the office remains a distinct practice devoid of his politics. So we do not have any connection with his politics.
My brother, we all know that so far as his name is on the firm. And somebody will even go to KNUST because it's KNUST, or University of Ghana because it's yes. So we know it's a Akufo-Addo, Prempe and Co. So how are you rating your president? How do you think he's doing?
I don't think I can rate him, but what I can say is that as between current happenings, there have been general concerns of a phenomenon that things are difficult within the country. And I'm pretty sure that as a government and as the president, they are also doing their best to see how to navigate the waters. So to that extent, I can admit.
You are in the UK.
I think
you are in the UK. Do you have family back in Ghana?
Yes, and I was actually in Ghana just in May.
Oh, okay.
So I've not been detached from.
Good. So what are they saying? What is your family saying? What are they telling you? How is it going?
Oh, like I'm saying, I think that there's no gain saying that even the government itself has admitted that these are trying times. They are going through difficulties with the economy because of global phenomenon and other local factors, looking at inflation at an all high and whatnot. But like I've said, in spite of this, I think they've also continuously are demonstrating that they are doing what they can to get the country back on the proper track. So if you ask me, I think that it is a push and pull issue. There are problems, but like every government, they are also trying.
Okay, let's move on from there. Once again, my sister, my big sister is here, Vera Safwa. I see you, Vera. I see you, Mami Ness. I see you. She's in Sandema, so probably she has traveled outside Ghana already. Sandema is so far from Accra. Yeah. So Vera, I see you. Once again, share with your friends. Share the video, share the link. Let other people join to watch. Lenin, tell us, we have University of Ghana. You went to Tech. You can attest that Tech is good. Why leave Ghana? Why go to study elsewhere? That's what everybody is asking, and that's why I wanted to bring you to this show. Everybody is always saying,
Okay.
why go outside? Why?
I think that the decision to go outside is one of a personal decision. I think to each man, what influences them. For me, I first of all wanted a break from the work cycle that I've been doing since 2017. I felt like I needed that break from work to be able to reflect and think about myself and where I want to head. And if I wanted to do school in Ghana, it was most likely not going to be possible because I would have to balance school with work.
Yeah.
But then, most importantly, too, the program I decided to pursue for my master's is a specialization. And even in the UK, there are just about two schools that run that specialization. So if I really wanted to do that program, then I had no option but to pursue it outside because I wasn't going to get it within my
Is it
home
not? Is
country.
it not because you want to be called Boga? It's like you are running away from that. You
Well,
want to be called
this is
Boga. You
an
are running
argument
away.
this is an argument I've strongly made that when it comes to burgers are those who come to look for money. I came to learn, so I'm not a burger.
But you are
I'm
still
not
a
working.
Boga. You are still
I'm
a
not making
Boga.
any money, so I'm not a burger.
You want to be called Boga, so you are going to do your masters in the UK, and you are running away from
But
the truth.
burgers are those who come here to work for money. I came to learn, so I'm not a burger. I'm not earning
Eh?
while in the UK.
Yeah, but okay. So, how did you even come about the school? Why did you choose that school? Why did you choose
So,
Queen Mary
like
University
I
of
said,
London?
when the first opportunity for me to go do a master's came up in 2020, my former headmaster in senior high school, Father Alexander Suebo, saw an advertisement in the graphic. It was a scholarship advertisement,
Okay.
and he thought that I would qualify. So he sent me the graphic and asked me to apply. So I applied to the university and did get the admission. But unfortunately, at the time for starting school was too close, and I had a lot of things going, so I couldn't make it up to school. So I abandoned it. So from that point, I decided, okay, the next year I am going to go to school. So I started thinking about what program it is I wanted to go do. So what I did was that I made contact with a couple of friends who had worked with UK education services, and they sent me a tall list of all the good schools in the UK. There were about 36 schools. And you know, in the UK, they have what they call the Russell School Group, which is the top 24 schools, very good in research. So I took time, went to each school's website, went through their programs to try and see if any particular program of DS was going to catch my attention. And it was in that course of that search that I came across that specialization that caught my attention, which was technology, media, and telecommunications law. And it was just Queen Mary and then University of Edinburgh who were offering that specialization. So that is how come I ended up
I mean,
choosing
somebody
Queen
asked
Mary.
me. I think somebody asked me, a friend here. He asked me what law you were into, and I didn't know. So, I
Okay,
mean, yeah, clarify again. You said tech, media, and what? Say it again. Let's.
telecommunications. That is for my master's.
Okay,
But
okay,
before coming to the master's, I was a general practitioner. I
okay,
had been practicing law all round, except majority of my cases had been commercial dispute litigation. But I had done family law, I had done land, I had done probate, I had done real estate. And I think it's mostly because at the time I was called to the bar, that was when the banking sector crisis had hit. So there was a lot of commercial disputes around
okay,
that side.
okay.
But for my master's, I'm pursuing technology, media, and telecommunications law.
That's. I think that's a fine niche you have identified yourself, because there's not a lot of lawyers in Ghana within that space, and I think that is very good. Lenin, look, we don't want you to lie.
Sure.
A lot of us are saying that you got the scholarship because you work in a Kufuor's government. You are already working in his firm. That's how you got the scholarship. You too, you are telling us you did
Uh,
search and all of that. How do?
yes. So I don't know what people want to say, but when I got my admission to school, I had actually paid my deposit for school and was preparing towards coming to school when the scholarships opened. I applied to get fund for a scholarship, and I think that must have been sometime in June, July, and somewhere late July, I was called in to come for an interview. So I went for an interview with the board of directors of Get Fund. There were about 5 people. So they took me through why I wanted to pursue that program. Similar questions like you're asking, why I'm not doing it in Ghana and whatnot. And in the end, I even had to make concessions like, well, I'm going to foot my own airfare and ticket if I get a scholarship, because it was a striking balance. They basically told me that, well, what Get Fund does is that even though it sponsors people for programs, for those who have the capacity, they try to let you take part of the cost if you can. So I don't know, or I cannot say for a fact. Maybe you may surmise, but what I know is that for every process that Get Fund required, which was to make an application, to attach my transcript, my recommendation letters, I did go through all that process and went through an interview process, and eventually it came out the way it did. So you may surmise that perhaps because of my involvement with the president, even though I keep telling you that his law practice has nothing to do with his politics.
No, but
That, but
no matter how it is law firm, so definitely it's going to connect with you. You know, maybe push you here and there, make some calls for you to get a
no, you see,
scholarship and all.
the reason I usually make that point is that people tend to think or feel that because the president founded the office, perhaps almost every government business goes through our office before it goes to wherever it goes. But in my experience, actually, the office operates quite very distinctly from. In fact, I have in recent times, together with some of my seniors, represented some very high-profile members of the opposition party from that office. So if it were to put it sort of a miniature control of the government, I don't think would have been possible to do that. So the office operates quite independently from his politics, but people may surmise much as they want. I won't blame them. Anyway.
All right. So yeah, once again, I'm still giving the shout out. Abdul Rauf. Abdul Rauf has been on one of my volunteer projects. He's a very solid guy. Abdul, I see you. I see Livingston is back again with a thumbs up. I see Regina, and I see Vera Chan. Vera is from YouTube. Vera Chan, we see you. So share with your friends. Let them come and listen to the conversation. All right. Now, Lenin, let's dive into how to get admission to graduate schools outside of Ghana. Look, for me, I keep telling people that even if the course is still available in Ghana, when you do first degree in Ghana, at least if it's possible, try to. It's a different learning culture outside of Ghana, so blend in a little bit with that one too, so that you can get a perfect life. Look, the experience you are going to get when you travel outside is never going to be the same as when you are in your home country, no matter where you are from. Okay, so you can just try to change a little bit. But people have always complained that it's difficult getting admissions, especially because their currency is a little bit higher, or is higher than ours. So it's difficult to get admissions and scholarships from schools outside of Ghana. Help us. I know you have friends who are there with you. Help us. Give us some basic strategies, moves. How do we go about it? Where do we start from? Give us some details.
So, like you rightly point out, I am for experiencing different cultures and different people. And when it comes to applications outside the country, I always tell people that it takes time. So set out early. As much as possible, set out early. Now, what you have to do is, like you mentioned, go through and try to find out what it is you want to do and which schools offer it. Now, when you've identified the schools that offer it, the problem really does not have to do with getting admission. Every school likes a good story. If you're able to put together your life story, your experiences in a manner that convinces them, it is easy to get admission. The problem has to do with funding. And when it comes to funding and money, there are a number of scholarships that are generally known. If you come to the UK, like Chevening, like Commonwealth, if you go to other places, you have Erasmus Mundai and the others. What I would recommend is that you can put together a list of these scholarships. Look out for what their cultures are, because some of them look to sponsoring diversity from Africa. Some of them look to sponsoring people pursuing a particular course, say the sciences. There are different focus areas. But the bottom line is that try to find out which scholarship you may. And it is a tedious process, trust me. For example, Chevening takes a pretty long time and a lot of effort to be able to get it. So what I would advise is that get the scholarships and find a mentor, somebody who perhaps have previously done it before, to be able to guide you through the application process so that they can tell you what it is these scholarships are looking out for. But most importantly also, cast your net wide. Don't look to say one or two and stop. I mean, I know people who do as many applications as 20, 25, and even in situations where you don't get it, it still prepares you and builds you better for the next round of applications. Because I have a very good friend who got admission to a very good university the first time, didn't get a scholarship, and then applied to the same university the following year and got a scholarship, and recently he's done with school. So when it comes to the scholarship and the funding, but being in the UK, what I've realized really is that a lot of these scholarships look out for particular things. And when I say particular things, what I mean is that they look out for what you've been able to do with your past life or your past work, and how the scholarship is going to help you. So if you are, for instance, in university final year, or you are just coming out of law school, or and you want to apply for a scholarship, it is why I particularly encourage extracurricular activities. Don't do just the books and the academics. Get into debate, get into sports, get into anything that you can do the extra mile. If you are into the benevolence culture, do the NGOs, do the outreaches, do the supports. If you can organize donations and outreaches, organize the donations and the outreaches, it helps tell a good story for yourself when you're applying for the scholarship, because then you can demonstrate not only your leadership culture, but then also the impact that your leadership culture has reflected in the past. And that convinces the scholarship agency or the body to support you for that program, because most of them look to building community and world leaders. So it is not a short period thing. Recognize the fact that it takes time, so you have to invest in it. Recognize the fact that rejection may be part of the process and that you may be rejected for the first or a couple of times. And recognize the fact that those rejections can only be building stones for you to improve, for instance, your personal statement or your mission statement or any other requirements that the scholarship requires. That way you can do better and then build up as you go along.
Learning. This is, I mean, for me, I want to clap for you. Look, these are the points I want to share with people. Number one, understand that no, it's not easy. It's not as if you can just sleep and have it, because someone is going to spend a lot of money on you for you to travel outside, and instead you yourself, you know that if you do not get that offer, it's not possible for you to go. So understand that it's not going to be easy. People want to do that for you. Yes, of course, there's a lot of money, and I'm not going to lie about that. There's a lot of cash waiting out there to be invested into scholarships for people to just travel and study. There's a lot of it. Masters, PhD, so many opportunities around the world. But it's not easy, because you have to show that you are worth it. Even yourself, when a friend of you asks you for money, you still think about it whether the person is worth the amount of money you want to give to the person. And so, of course, there's going to be a lot of requirements for you to meet. But those are just requirements. And it's easy to meet them. Look, for me, I right after national service, I got the chevening. Chevening was left with just interview. But once again, something came up, like you said, it was too close. So I was not able to finish up with the chevening. Then I moved on. I got another scholarship in China. I was supposed to do my master's there in China. Then COVID struck, so I had to hold on with the master's as well. From there, now I moved to the US to do this PhD. So I had to get the PhD because I have to put the master's. But these are basically all the steps that you have to go through. First of all, identify what program you want to read, and don't be too far away from what you have done already. Okay, if you've done a bachelor's degree in agric, don't go and be looking for law if you want master's in law, because you can't get that. Nobody will give you money for that because you don't have the background for it. So don't be too far away from it, but look for the program. That is the first thing. Then look for the schools that offer the program you want to do. If you like, you can also search for the schools in case you like the schools first, or maybe you are looking for a school that has the scholarship or has a free admission application process for you or whatever. You can search for the schools first, follow the school, and look for a particular program you are interested in. And when you are talking about the scholarship, my friend, they are looking for specific things. If they want somebody who is interested in leadership, and you go and you tell them that you are a first class degree holder, so that is all, you won't get the scholarship. You are wasting your time, plus you think that there are no scholarships there for you. But there are people who are looking for specific things, people who have engaged in servants responsibilities, civil activities back at school and all of that. Just look for the details of that particular
Let
scholarship.
me the point that, like you mentioned, what I've realized being in the UK is that there are a lot of opportunities.
A lot.
Like universities, rich people, foundations churn out a lot of opportunities. And that if you can actually look hard enough, you can find one that would suit you. Also, quite a number of the universities themselves offer scholarships and bursaries. So if, for instance, you apply and you get an admission, you can email the university concerning funding, whether or not they have any scholarship opportunities available that you can hop on. I know for schools like Cambridge, usually when you get admission, depending on your background, if you're eligible for certain types of scholarships, they may email you to apply.
Mm-hmm.
But take the initiative yourself of also asking these schools if they have any arrangement for funding. But the hope is that there are a lot of opportunities out there. If you look hard enough, you can find something that you can work with.
Simple. It's as simple as that. For me, I have, the whole idea is search for it. You may open up a certain scholarship that no one has heard of, and the money is still there. When I came, my professor was telling me that, look, he said there's a lot of money here in the US in scholarship funds that goes every year recycled like that, because they don't get enough people taking up the scholarships. Do you understand? And it's surprising. Someone is also there with a very good graduating transcript, and he will not apply for the scholarship. He will just sit at home and assume that it's too difficult to get scholarship. They are looking for this or that. You just have to search. Again, find a mentor. Finding a mentor is very important. Like Lenin said, it's easy. It makes it easy. Of course, you can do it yourself. If you are like me, you can do it yourself. You can dash in and dig in and do it yourself. But getting someone to also help you, and that is one of the main reasons why I created this platform. getting someone to help you is very important. It makes it easy because there are the opportunities and there are the ways to get to it. So finding a mentor is also important. Then Lenin also said, be open. Know that you can't just apply and get it. It's not easy as that. You can't just apply and get it. You may fail at some of them, but keep applying, and that is why you should not apply to only one scholarship. Apply to about 2 or 3 scholarships, 4 or 5, as many as you can. But the thing is that every graduate school will require a recommendation letter. So if you are watching us and you are still in school, or you are not in touch with your formal professors and whatever, get in touch with them now. Because if you apply to 5 schools, it means that your professors have to send you 5 different recommendation letters. And they have work to do. They have families, some of them, if they don't even want to do it for you. All right? And so you have to get in touch with them, create that relationship with them, so that when you need the recommendation letters, they will send to you. Apply to as many as you can, and you might probably get into one. Learning. Add one if we want you to add one key strategy, one key skill to applying for scholarship, what would you say? What is that one thing you would say?
I would say that mind your writing. Mind your writing. I think that what I've recognized or what I've realized being here also is that your ability to convey your story on a paper or your ability to tell who you are on paper is significantly different from how you communicate orally. And so you should improve your writing. And it is why when you do some of these personal statements and other things for scholarships, it's good to have a mentor or somebody else look at it. So try to improve your writing so that you can succinctly tell the story of who you are in a manner that convinces the people who are going to read. Because mind you, they are not seeing you at the time they are considering your application. Even if there's an interview, it's likely to be after you've been shortlisted through the initial stages of your written applications. So try to improve your writing in a manner that helps you tell your story sufficiently so that your writing does not get you rejected.
Yeah.
Writing is a very huge part. And I would say that when it comes to finding mentors, these days it's easy. Unfortunately, I had not used my LinkedIn for almost 4 or 5 years till I got to the UK. And I realized whenever you get to any networking event, they're asking of your LinkedIn. So I had to quickly sit down and beef it up. These tools are available for you to, for instance, if you want to go to Cornell and read a particular program, or you want to come to Queen Mary and read a particular program, you can easily search on LinkedIn and find somebody who has. Connect with them, send them a message. I'm this person. I'm trying to get into this. Are you available? You must always get a response from somebody. So as a new generation, let's use these tools available to us also to our benefit. There's a lot to be gained from being on social media, not just the usual stuff that we do over there. So that is what I would say. Improve your writing and also be open to connecting beyond the usual physical meet and greet that we do.
Yeah, I mean that is, look, sometimes when you are telling people some of these things, they think that, oh, it's not true. They think that it's not true. I'm going to tell you that using the social media can be for any other thing, including even securing your scholarship. The professors, most of the professors are there. They are there on LinkedIn. You just have to send them a convincing message, like Lenin said, putting yourself correctly on the paper, writing as good as you want it to be. That is important. Just connect with the professor and send that to the person on LinkedIn, and that's going to be very, very fruitful. Lenin, let's move on to talk about life in London. How is it going for you? How is the London life? Now you are there. Yeah, tell us. We want to see how is the enjoyment. What are the things you are doing? Tell us.
I, I, I think for me, it's been very okay because I see the Ghana weather here now. Like it's basically summer, so
Oh, okay.
it's warm and hot. But when I came in October, it was tough. It was
Okay.
tough because personally I hate cold, and I came at a time when the cold was at its highest. So coping with the cold was huge. But I think beyond the weather, there's been some cultural shocks being in London, and so you learn to adjust and move around. But
Mm-hmm.
there's also been the fun side of meeting new people, engaging your professors, engaging in class, having socials and fun nights and dinners and the other things on the side. So I would say life in London has been a mixed bag. I've the good experiences and I've had the not so good experiences also.
Yeah. So once again, for me, when I was coming to the US, I prepared myself because I knew that definitely it's not going to be the same environment. But most people, we keep complaining that um, when you go to the US, people are going to be they see you as a monkey and blah blah blah. How is that life been? How is racism treating you?
In all honesty and frankness, I have had one or two of my classmates mention some experiences that they felt was because they were black. But personally, I've not had any experience that I can say that I think I was treated differently because I was black. They tell me that perhaps because I'm not looking out for it, but I cannot have any distinct experience that I can say it was because I was black. For instance, when I got in initially, in Ghana, when you meet somebody outside, you greet the person, oh, good morning, or what to say, they respond, even if you don't know them. Then I got here, you get to the bus station, you say good morning, and they are looking at you like you're begging them for money. Then over the course of 2 weeks, I discovered that it's actually a cultural thing. Like nobody says that kind of hello, good morning when they meet you at the bus station when they don't know you. So it is not because it's me they are treating me that way. It's generally how they are. They are just minding their business,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
So I have no distinct experience, but I've had some friends mention it once or twice. And I think maybe it's also because of the environment I am in. Because I'm in a university environment that is generally supposed to be cosmopolitan, like all kinds of people are there, all nationalities. And so diversity is sort of appreciated in such an environment. Maybe if I were living with indigents or actual indigents, I may have experienced it, but as of this point, I have no distinct experience of racism whatsoever.
I mean, this is the same here. People don't care about you. So far as you are in your line, nobody is making any moves on you or any unwanted. I don't. Well, maybe it's not been that long, but I want to assure those of you watching from Ghana or from elsewhere that look, I think that if you do something bad, you get bad results even when you are in your home country. Apart from that, I've not seen that people are treating anybody bad because they are black. Or there are a lot of Indians here. Indians, Lenin, how is it? Is it the
Yeah,
same?
yeah, in the UK, there are also a lot. I
Indians.
think very particular, a lot. I mean, in my class, I could count about half, if not more, are Indians. There are a lot.
And that's because for them they work hard. They understand that you need to do this before you'll be able to get in. So they are doing it, and that's what I want my people to do. Look, there's nobody better than a Ghanaian student who wants to get into the UK. We are as strong as anything else. Do you understand? So I normally would like my people to get it done, and that's why I keep telling people, get it done. All right, so that we can come in. But Learning, how about girls? Now let's move on a little bit. How about girls? How about girls? Tell us, how is the relationship with the girls, the UK girls? And not only forget about the Ghana girls you went with. how is the relationship with the UK or other international students?
I think at this point, let me disclose that I'm encumbered before I'm accosted when I live here. I'm, I'm encumbered. I'm tied down somehow. But the what I've realized is that in the UK, I think generally people are more open to engagement, even ladies. Like in my typical Ghanaian culture, when you meet a lady and you say hello, the presumption is that you are probably coming to chase them or go after them. But you realize that over here, people are just open to actual conversations. Like you just meet, you talk. And so I've a very wide range of very good friends. I have what we call the African contingent. Our friends from Botswana, South Africa, Uganda, Kenya. We usually constitute the African continent, but beyond that, I also have good friends from India, Jordan, and others. And for me, that has been the point of being in London, being able to broaden your horizon such that you meet people from all over and learn about their cultures and what it is that they do. So on that front, I think I've built some great friendships, but it stays at that, friendships. That is it. Nothing more.
You don't want to put yourself in trouble, eh?
It stays at that, friendship, nothing more. That's what.
Well, so recently, your very good friend, Boachinya Mecha Isaac, got married.
Oh yes, I missed that wedding, and I think it's going to be one of the very painful events in my young life. Missing Boachi's wedding.
Yeah, is it pushing you? How are you feeling? Is it pushing you? Do you want to also get your own done, or how is your woman treating you?
I think that these things, they happen when they happen. I mean, they happen when they happen. We are not going any younger, but they will happen when they happen. When it gets there, I'll invite you. Don't worry.
Oh, but how? So your lady wants you to come and get it done, and that's why you don't want to tell us how it's going with the UK girls.
Oh no. I don't think that there's no pressure from her. I mean, we are all still young. We are all still busy with doing other things.
Lenin, are you sure you are young?
Oh, I'm young. I mean, by the legal definition of youth, I'm still a youth. So don't worry.
Okay. Now let's talk about food. Before we even move away from the girls, I'm going to show people some of the girls that you have been connecting with. So that
see you.
This one, I'm going to make sure that your if you are running away from your woman, then you should see it.
This accusation you are leveling.
You should see it. I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them.
You are leveling.
Yeah, I have a picture of you when you were out there chilling with some girls, and it looked like the girl was close to you than any other person in the team.
This is an allegation. This one.
The girl is close to you than any other person in the team.
So whatever you are going to show has already been disclosed.
So I just want to be sure if everybody have seen the video, the picture. It's not only me.
Whatever you are going to show has already been disclosed.
Where is the picture? Yes, it's here. The way you are smiling in this picture. Let me show it so that.
Which of the pictures are you showing? I want to see it.
I'm coming to show it. You also see it. Why you want to see it before I show it?
Oh no. I mean, I have nothing to. So you are liberty.
Yeah. So. Let me show how Lenin is connecting with the. This is the picture. It looks like you are making the lady laugh and all.
This sort of allegation is in trouble.
Lenin, so tell us how is this? We want to know this lady, for instance. The one you are close to, the one who is laughing.
Oh, so interestingly, Kate is a Swiss Ghanaian.
Oh,
She's
okay.
a Ghanaian, and she's from Switzerland.
That
She's my
that's.
classmate. So I think in our second lecture, I was talking in class, and in the course of citing the example, I mentioned I was from Ghana. So after the class, she said, "Oh, I'm also Ghanaian," and we've been good friends. So Kate is from Swiss and she's Ghanaian. The gentleman to my right is an Indian. Then you have the Botswanan lady, the Sierra Leonean. Elizabeth is from Malaysia, and then the Nigerian lady.
Oh
And
wow.
this was after our last workshop for the program.
Okay.
So after our last workshop for the program, we decided to go to a close bar and have drinks because we were finally done, and it was left with exams. So that's it. Nothing malicious.
What about this one? This one, there's no black one. There's no black inside. This one,
Which one?
I just showed it. You will see it soon. So what
Oh,
about
my
this one?
listen.
Tell us, Lenin. You are between
I
foreign
can't see that.
girls.
I can't see that. Oh, okay. Oh, so I think this reflects one of the points I was making in terms of networking and engaging. So you see the woman at the center.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of our professors.
Oh, okay.
She's a known professor of internet law in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And she was undertaking a research. She was applying for a research grant into gambling harms. So she selected those of us gathered around her to help her with the literature review and the preparation of the grant paper. So I just finished my presentation. There were about 6 presentations that day. And when we finished, she was like, "Oh, we should go out to the park and then have lunch." So we went to get salads and then went to sit in the park because the sun was out and it was.
And you are between two ladies. You are between two.
I don't think I took particular notice of where I sat.
You are between two fine ladies, Lenin.
I
You
just
are
sat down.
between two fine ladies.
I just sat down. I don't think I took particular notice of
I mean,
where I
as for
sat.
me, I'm not saying anything. I'm just putting out the data.
Oh, I know you're behaving like that. You're behaving like the devil's advocate.
So I'm just putting out the data. So whatever they want to make out of the information there is for them. And Lenin, you are between two fine ladies.
These are part of the experiences I've enjoyed in London. The
Eh.
fact that my professor, for instance, after this event, sat me down, asked me what my plans are for the next few months when I finish the program. Try to like the closeness you find with professors and students and how accessible they are, how ready they are to support you. I think it's part of what I would take from the UK educational system compared to Ghana.
Yeah.
So these experiences are all they contribute to the fun part of my UK experience.
And Lenny, I'm not going to lie about that. That is so true. When you are in Ghana, professor means something different from here. It's surprising. Sometimes, I get marveled to the how they want the treatment they are giving to you as a student. Because my professor just came to me and he said he saw my post that is my birthday, and so they are arranging for us to go out and have a drink, just like that.
It is very true. It is very true. As a matter of fact, it took me some time to get used to it because you get here and even when the professor teaches, they want you to challenge them.
Yeah.
They enjoy a good contra opinion to what it is they are saying. That sort of discourse makes you free to engage in the class without thinking, "Oh, she's going to victimize me or she's going to think I'm being too known or whatnot." So I think that culture is healthy for discourse, for building confidence, and for encouraging people to speak up.
I mean, I would advocate strongly that it should be adapted because Lenin, I remember when I was doing my national service, and I was running my volunteer teaching project. There's a lot I cannot spill because this is a big platform, a social media platform. But the treatment I got from the office I was working in, I cannot believe it. Like, is this really? I'm just doing something for the community. I'm just giving myself out, and the treatment I'm getting. Then I get to the
I
US.
think it's something we cannot pick from. And what it made me really realize is that there's little concern for status over here, because I was surprised to find out that most of my professors actually ride the train and the bus to campus. Some
They
of
use
them actually cycle.
bicycles. They
Yeah,
use
some of them cycle
bicycles.
to campus. Like, it was news to me to find out. So I think it encourages us to not look more to the positions and the titles that are given to us, but then what we can do within those titles to help others and make other people's lives easier. I mean, you schedule a call with the professor, he would agree, come have a conversation with you, ask you how things are going. I think it's something that we can all encourage and adapt.
Because
It helps.
it almost feels like back at school. It almost feels like it's difficult for a professor to even want you to become a professor. And here I come, and people are pushing you. Emeritus professors want you to go. They want you to get the opportunity to show yourself. They want you to get the job done so that you can also reach the level where you can be called a professor. And that is really,
It
really
is
encouraging.
absolutely true. Well, after this session, after my presentation, she asked me if she could have my slides, and I said, why not? So I gave it to her. And then after our conversation, when she found out I was going to be in the UK for a while after my program before I go, she was like, what would I be doing? Then she's like, okay, let me see what I can do. Then she sends messages to some of my professors, those I've done courses with,
Yeah.
that there's this gentleman, he just did a presentation I love so much. I think he'll be good to assist you with any project you have if you need any assistance. Like, the recommendation was glowing. And for me, for her to go out of her way to do that, and not just even with professors in the school, but some connections she had outside the school, tells you that genuinely she somehow wants to see something work out for you. So I think that is a culture we can pick up.
Yeah.
The fact that even as young people or as adults, we don't see our positions as performing the duty and ending there, but then seeing it as using that platform to help more people develop and get out of where they are to become better persons. I think it's an absolutely fantastic thing we can all
right.
adapt to.
Lenin, let's move on. There's another picture. It looks like this lady there. You are really connected to this lady, pa. We want to see.
It looks like within the past 3 minutes you want to suddenly accuse you of having about 4 or 5
No, you admit. For me, I'm just being, because I can see 1, 2, 3 guys, and I can see 6 ladies. It looks like you are sharing the ladies.
Oh,
2
it
for
looks like
each.
that is the African contingent.
2 for each. Is that not the same lady you are close to?
It looks like that is the African contingent.
And I'm saying that, is this not the lady you are close to, the Botswana lady you are saying? Is that not the same lady you are close to here?
I still can't see the image yet, so
Oh,
I'm unable
I've uploaded it. You should be able to see now, because I'm sure all other viewers are looking at the.
Oh yes, I can see it now. Which no. The Botswana lady is not in this picture. So this picture has Jordan, it has Nigeria, it has English, it has Kenya, 2 Kenyans actually, and then Nigeria and Uganda.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that is it for this. So for this picture, it was a picnic we had at Hyde Park. I mean, once a while we try to get all the students to come in, like friends. This is the African contingent, but I think a couple of them invited their roommates to join us.
Okay.
No malice intended.
It's like I said, for me, I'm putting it out there. So it's a matter of the viewers to make their own conclusions out of it. Let's talk about food. Let's talk about food. How is food from Ghana compared to the food you get to eat back at the UK? How is it? Is it very different? Is it difficult to eat? Talk to us.
So for school, I don't think, in terms of what I would say regarding school, is that it's one of the points I've already made, that in terms of relationship wise, I think the relationship here is better than Ghana. And don't get me wrong, I had some really great teachers in Ghana, like Mr. Adomako Kwache, Amasa, Aporika. I had some very great teachers. But then the relationship here is different from the relationship in Ghana, to the extent that, and I think it's a larger thing with the community. In UK, the university see the university as a business, and so they want to offer all the help they can to you, so you can either make better recommendations or feel comfortable and recommend the school to other places. In Ghana, most of our schools see the school as a privilege for you to come in, and so they don't see why they have to go the extra mile. And I'll demonstrate this in two ways. First of all, beyond the academic work that we do in the classroom, there's so much external support over here in terms of getting a job and industry and preparing you for the job market. Like, there are a whole department of career and counseling dedicated, where you can book appointments to go through your CV, how to better it. If you want to apply for a job and internship, let them look at your cover letter and support you, how to actually. And almost every other week, the university is sending you opportunities available in terms of internships, works. The universities here are so close to the industry and the job market that almost every day, the job market is feeding the university with what it is that they need. There are constantly career fairs being organized by the university. People are invited, come talk, you build networks over there. So I think for school, that for me is the biggest part of the education system here that is missing in Ghana. The fact that in Ghana we train you academically, when you are done, we are done with you. Go.
Yeah.
But over here, they train you academically with a view to making sure that you have a place in the industry. So they enjoy, for instance, saying that, well, in JP Morgan, there are 150 Queen Mary alumni. In this institution, there are this number of this alumni. So because of that, they are constantly liaising and looking for how these entities and these industries can get their people in there. And I think it is the part that if we can adopt through our universities, it will help our unemployment situation back home. Rather than train students and leave them go find jobs, university should perhaps draw industries closer, so that even in the course of the training, they can, as between themselves and students, identify opportunities, internships and others, and then relate with them. Over time, you build a strong culture that becomes easy to transition people from the university to the job market. But in terms of the pure academics, I think it has been largely on your own, because like I said, even though the classes are very engaging and open, after the class, the personal studies are still up to you, and it's a master's program. But the other part also is that even within the academic setting, they try to do things that make it easy for you to learn. For instance, we've had movie streamings in class. We were doing something on cleaners and the harms of internet. We had movies. As a matter of fact, the Tinder Swindler, we watched Tinder Swindler in class as an entity, because we were talking about internet harms and the others. And there was PESA and others. Those things lighten the teaching mood and the academic mood. So that blend of not just lecture teaching, I come to stand there, I read, I go, but with all these other practical sessions, make it easy for you to relate in class and then work on it. So that has been it for school, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just look. Sometimes I just wonder how we are so close to these countries, but we are so far away from how they do their things. How the professors are going to learn with you, teach with you. I remember back in my office when I was doing national service, emails are not a mode of communication. Even for graduate school, emails, if you send an email, nobody is going to respond. But that is one of the swift and because you can put so many people together on an email and send the message out, and they will all receive it at the same time. You don't have to have their contact number or whatever, and the school
As a
create the
matter of
email
fact,
system.
back in KNUST, I had a KNUST email, but I never used the email to receive anything or send anything
No,
throughout my phone stay,
no.
because they just give it to you as a matter of formality. Like nobody has used for it. But over here, every day you have to check your student's email because there's either a new announcement coming in, or there's some job opportunity, or there's an internship opportunity, research opportunity, or the school is generally making announcements to you.
And
Amidst
the
this,
school has offices. The school has offices that look into getting these sources. I just received an email yesterday talking about an opportunity for people to teach and get funding. And that's what I'm saying, that there are so many opportunities out there that you just have to connect. And this man that shared the email, I met the man on LinkedIn even before I came to the school. So if you are only connecting with them, you are going to get the information. Learning. Let's talk about food. I can see that you have already seen the picture. You are in the UK and you are enjoying your jollof rice with your hands.
I mean, I have to. What can I do? I think that it's been a big part of what a lot of people miss when they travel. But luckily for me, I have not had so much problem with food, for the reason that my mother is in the UK, albeit in a different part of the UK.
Oh, okay.
So in that picture, I was eating with my hand. I'd actually visited her because occasionally I go there and take food items, like she prepares all these stews and soups, and then I bring them to where I am. Now, luckily for me again, where I live, the person who hosts me is also a Ghanaian.
Oh,
so consistently,
okay. Then you
I
are
eat from
sorted. You are sorted.
Oh yeah. I mean, when it comes to food, I have no problem. But the food on the right, I prepared it myself. Sometimes I like to, do some papa.
You have Agyei in the UK.
What?
You have Agyei in
Oh
the
yeah,
UK.
I bought one when I was coming. I bought one. I was told to bring one, so I bought one.
Hey,
Oh yeah, I
Lenin.
prepared.
So when you were going to the UK, you had Agyei in your bag.
I prepared and carried my
And border and customs protection, they didn't turn you back. They didn't turn you.
I guess the detector didn't find it. So, no trouble there.
Yes, but I mean, for me, food here in the US is different. It's totally different.
But I would say that, you see, when I was coming, I promised myself as much as possible I was going to eat local. Partly because I also have friends who came, and within the 1 year when they came back, they had probably increased twice in size from all this pizza and cheeseburger and all these other food that they eat. So I told myself I don't want that extra weight. So as much as possible, I was going to watch what it is I eat. And I can actually count the number of times I've had pizza in the UK. It's not something I ordinarily like, but all these other foods that are so rich. And I realized over here, almost every food has sugar in it, including chicken, meat, everything. So you just have to make a conscious effort to watch what you eat in order to still get along with being healthy.
Then I was going to mention that sugar is in everything. We went for orientation, and after the orientation, now they are done. They are serving food, and I mean, I was hungry, so for a Ghanaian guy, I thought, oh no, this is the regular chicken. They had seasoned the chicken and all of that. I took my plate, went to the chicken for them to fetch for me, and it was chicken seasoned with honey. Honey on chicken.
Honey glazed. And they also don't like spicy food. So even when you go to a place and you ask for extreme spice, the extreme spice is like mild spice in Ghana.
Yeah.
It's like no pepper. So sometimes you take more, but still it does nothing to your taste buds. It's just one of those things you have to live with. I guess over time you get used to it.
Yeah, I went to the supermarket to get some, and I saw they had written hot spice. So I'm like, oh, let me get that one. That one is going to be hot. I tasted the thing and I could literally put a spoonful in my mouth and I still not feel anything.
You'll be disappointed.
I still not feel anything. Anyway, let's talk about how studies is going. How is studies? How is studies? And I see this picture in your on your profile. It looks like you are studying. Chairman is learning everything.
I think this was in the very either first week or second week when I came. So part of my other great experience is that I have friends in the UK. So when I came, they easily took me in. At the time I was coming, they still had to quarantine for 10 days. And I didn't have my accommodation set at the time I was coming. So Eli Plim Katahina took me in to serve my quarantine period. And I arrived in the UK the morning my lecture started. So as soon as I got home and put my bags down, I signed in and logged on to lectures. So from there, you sit home, you try to do studies, but I usually prefer doing my studies in the library. So I'll usually leave home, go to the library in the morning, and then stay in the library till say evening or whenever I'm done with what I want to look at, and then come home. And the studies have been enjoyable for me, mainly because the program I took was a program I was looking forward to, and also because a lot of the issues I've had to deal with in my masters are issues that there are no solutions to currently. They are matters relating to the internet, and so they are still developing. So there's a lot of arguments and solutions around it. And so playing around with all those arguments, seeing the positions change in real time, like you discuss something this week, next week, there's already something different out there, has been a good trail for me. And it is why I recommend that when you decide to do a program, look to one that you think you can enjoy and have interest in. That way the studies will become easier to do. But that is not to say that it's all so nice. There are times you just get tired of it. You just feel drained, like you just don't want to do it anymore. And I remember I hit one such time around when I was writing my second semester exams. I was just too tired of the academics. Then luckily for me, around that time, my boss in Ghana asked me to come home when I'm done with exams. So as soon as I finished, I just packed my bags and went home to recharge and then come back. So it's been here and there. It's been interesting.
That's why I'm sharing this next picture. If you look on the picture on the left, you can see that chairman is suffering from the learning.
Yes, that's the IELTS library. It's one of the biggest law libraries in the UK.
Okay.
The IELTS library. And I had a permanent seat there, to the extent that at some point when I'm leaving, the woman would wave me bye, see you tomorrow. I'm like, ha.
Yes, and the picture on the right, I want to talk about how is barbering, shaving your hair. How is the situation? Because obviously their hair is not the same as ours. What has been the situation? Because I've faced a couple of issues. I just want to pick your thoughts.
So first of all, barbering is darn expensive in the UK. So in Ghana, on the average, even paying 50 cedis for barbering is like an extreme plush barbering salon.
Yeah.
But over here, you have to pay an average of like £25, which is almost like 270 cedis to be able to get your hair done. So it was when I came to the UK I understood why a lot of the guys who came here usually do dreadlocks. Because having to shave your hair every other 2 weeks, paying that amount. Unfortunately for me, I don't have the hair to do the dreadlocks. So I have to get around. But I recently found this Nigerian man who does it for less. So that is what I've been managing. And I think he, because he's used to the African hair, also does it better compared to the whites who usually mess your hair because they are not familiar with the texture and the kinkiness of hair.
It's the same here. I checked from a barbering shop and I'm supposed to pay about $25 to get a haircut. You think about it.
the
And that's
denominator
like
is
250 CDs back at home. 250 CDs. But I think that the problem is that we are thinking about the money as if we are home. We are
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
home.
that's it.
We are not home.
That's it. I mean, when you get used to living here, that currency, but there's always that part of you
that will
that
check it.
multiplies.
You think
Yes, there's
about
always that
it.
part of you that multiplies. It's like your ancestors are reminding you, remember where you're coming from, remember where you're coming from, that sort of thing.
So you are like, hey, am I going to use 250 CDs to shave my hair?
Right.
That is true. It's very funny. Anyway,
Exactly.
yeah. So that is so far I think that we've done a lot of discussions. Let's talk about what you plan to do after. So after graduation, what's up after
Yes.
graduation?
So this question has particularly been a dicey one because you have a lot of people back home telling you, don't come back home, stay in the UK. What are you coming to do? Things are hard, times are difficult. What are you coming to do? And interestingly, you meet the older Ghanaian folks in the UK, and they also tell you, as soon as you finish, make sure you go back home. Don't live here. Living here would isolate you. But I think that personally, even before I left Ghana, I was convinced I wanted to go back to Ghana when I'm done with my program. And that is not to say that there are no opportunities in the UK. There are opportunities in the UK. But the reason I want to go to Ghana is because I think that the way our world is becoming a global world. You can access opportunities from anywhere, provided you have a good network and you know how to position yourself within the market. But more importantly, I also feel that places like the UK are cast in their ways. Their systems are fixed. When you stay here, you just become another employee, and there's not much room to break and make huge impact. But in places like home and Africa, we still have a lot of things that we haven't figured out and solved. And so if you want to really look to contributing meaningfully and making impact, I think that going back to where the problems are abundant becomes easier, because within the abundance of problems are also abundance of opportunities.
Yeah.
So for me, I am going back home, and I'm going back home because I miss home, because home is home, but because I also firmly believe that there are more opportunities for me to make more impact being in Ghana and still accessing the global market, notwithstanding that I'm in Ghana.
I mean, yes, obviously there's that discussion whether to go back home or to stay here. Um, for me, I've just begun my own, and I have 6 years, so I'll
Oh
hold
yes,
on to
you have
that.
a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah, I'll take
But
out.
it will
But
come sooner or later.
no, but just like you said, I think that it's important for us to remember that the idea or the general one of the greatest reasons why you would get this opportunity is so that you'll be able to learn, get all these ideas, and then go back home and help people. All right, take the
Exactly.
knowledge back home. And if you look at what we are saying about the learning system here, the professor versus student relationship and all of that, I think one of the best ways to implement that is experience it, go back home and practice it. Do you understand? So it makes sense for you to say it like that you are going back home.
And but to add to that, I mean, before I came, I loved what I was doing as a lawyer in Ghana, and it is why I don't think when I do the analysis of truncating that to live here, it's better off. I think I'll still enjoy it, so I'll go back to doing it and doing it better, I
Okay.
guess.
All right. All right. We are wrapping up, and so those who are here, let's just uh if you have a question, those who are watching us live both on Facebook and on YouTube, if you have a question, you can type it right in the chat, and we will ask that question for you. But let's talk about what are some small challenges that you face living outside of your home country, living in someone's country. What are the challenges? What are you facing?
I think that when it comes to challenges, the first thing has to do with basic cultural shocks, like I've said. Like, first of all, the weather, if you are not used to it, then you get relating with people, because there are things that you find normal in Ghana. When you get out, they suddenly become wrong to do. And there are things that seem okay to do here that are also wrong in Ghana. So my good friend Bonsha would visit. We are walking through town and you see people smooching and kissing all over the place, and we are both looking at ourselves and telling ourselves, ah, if these people were in Ghana, like by now, like they've run away. Similarly, you get to a bus stop, like I was saying, you are greeting people and they are not minding you. But I think the biggest challenge living in the UK for me has been a significant difference in how they live and how we live. For instance, the UK life is very individualistic. Like, everybody is busy making money, everybody is busy working, so there's no sense of community. I mean, I've lived in my flat for almost a year and I still don't know the name of the person who lives next door. As a matter of fact, I don't even know them. If I meet them, I won't even know that this is the person who lives next door. Whereas in Ghana, not knowing your neighbors was sort of being an abomination.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
the result of that individualism is that it makes life tough, because you have to shoulder everything by yourself. There's no support, everybody is busy, and it is why there are lots of cases of mental health and depression, because you have to contain all the pressure of whatever it is you are going through by yourself. So that for me has been a huge challenge living here, because back in Ghana, after work, you could just drive off and go see your friend. You could just call your friend, let's meet up and sit here. But here, if you want to plan such an outing, it will usually take you a couple of weeks to be able to get everybody on schedule to decide that we are meeting at this time or we are going here. That fundamental difference in how we live, I think for me, is the biggest challenge by far. Because for us in Ghana, our sense of community and support system pervades every aspect of our life. Over here, a young conam is you and your God. Everybody is busy making money and running shifts and running after jobs and whatnot. And it is why the Ghanaian friends I found in the UK were such a huge blessing, because the friends I knew back from Ghana that I met here, Kobe, Basil, Edubuahin, all the others, would occasionally call up, you meet, you talk, and it's just refreshing to have people that you knew. You get it.
Yeah.
Agrippa comes to town, you meet, and it's just refreshing. And there are times also you are just walking through town, somebody sees you and asks you, oh, what to say? And you're like, oh, me hoye. Like, they look at you and they go, now you're Ghanaian. And they say hello. And in that moment, you realize that, well, there's really no difference between us as people. Because maybe if that person had met you in Ghana, they wouldn't have said hello. But on somebody's land, they immediately see you as a brother and recognize you as such.
Yeah.
So
And for me, Lenin, to be honest with you, for me, I find that not very interesting. I find that a little bit inappropriate. I don't know the word to use, because you don't have to make it look like that. You are here. Other people are accepting you in their offices, in their labs, in their classrooms. But you will see, when a black man sees you coming as a black man, he automatically sees you as a brother, because you are black. So he wants to, connect with you like right away. Let's get interactive. What about the other people? Connect with them as well.
No, but interestingly, I think that even though there's that general connection on a broad level, you always find people gravitating towards certain groups. So, for instance, in my class, you would usually find the Indians coming to class in 3 or 4s or 5s. You would usually find the Nigerians doing same. And as soon as we all come to class, if there's any of the Africans in the class who is not there, one of us will probably text the person to find out where they are. That is not to say that we don't interact with all the other groups, but I think it's just an inherent thing that you sort of feel more comfortable gravitating towards a certain circle, because there's this movie Blackish, and they have what they call the black nod. Like when a black man meets a black man, you raise your head and you nod, like to realize that, yeah, I've seen you.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of it in town. You meet somebody, you lock eyes for a second, and they are nodding, like to see that, oh yeah, man, I see you.
Why are you people doing that? Why are you doing that? Why?
It's interesting.
Connect with the whites. Why would you? Because if you were back at home, you won't see this person as a friend. Probably they don't even know you. You don't know them. You are bypassing each other around circle and going to your own individual places.
It is the thing with being on a foreign land. When you are home, when you are home, you still identify with some different identities. But once you leave home, you all become one body, as it were. So for me, I think that fundamental difference is what has been my biggest challenge. The fact that if you know me, I'm an extrovert.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that I talk to and engage with. And suddenly you are thrust into a system where you have to be on your own, like absolutely. It is only rarely, occasionally, that you get to meet and interact with people. And it is why when we party, we do party hard. So once a while, people will come and take me out, and you would have fun.
So I'm sure that's why I'm showing this picture. We can see that the lawyer is now a gangster. The lawyer is now a gangster. You have your necklace and your shades and everything. It looks like you are chilling out.
Also one of our LLM picnics. And that's Thai. Thai is from Peru. Also another great.
Okay, and you guys are chilling out, eh?
Yeah. I mean, they just have to.
I mean, I have some videos. Though it's short, I have some videos from some of the chillings. I would like to show later in the we are wrapping up. We should finish in the next 10 minutes because we've taken almost 2 hours. I think that is enough. But if you have a question, if you are watching us and you have a question, kindly put it there. Let's ask Lenin. But we will probably I'm still looking for some of the short videos that we can play through, and you see Lenin dancing. Hey, lawyer is showing.
I was dancing.
Yeah, you are dancing.
I don't remember dancing.
I have the videos. I have the videos.
What you are doing.
We have a lawyer dancing, showing off his skills and all.
But I mean, like I said, it is the other part that when you meet like-minded people and when you go out. I mean, nightlife in London is very active. If you know where to go, let me put it that way. If you know where to go, nightlife in London is very active. There was a time Kingsford and myself, we were out, ended up in a Mexican, I don't know if it was a nightclub or a pub, and the song was terrible. So all of a sudden, we had to find a place you can relate to. We Googled, and thankfully it was an Afrobeat place nearby. We went there and the music was excellent. From Ghanaian to Nigerian to occasional South African, but mainly Ghanaian, Nigerian. And you know, listening to the high life, listening to Sarkodie, Kede, all of them becomes enjoyable because you seldom now have a place that fully plays that song. Whereas in Ghana, wherever you pass, that is the only song they play. So when you are cut off from home for some time, these little things bring you a lot of pleasure.
Yeah.
Being around people that you can relate with, being around things that you can relate with really makes you happy. And those are the things that keeps us sane over here.
Anyway, that is it's been very, very good speaking with you. Very informative. I thought it actually we all planned. We spoke about this that we were going to try and make it just within 1 hour, but as we can see, the 1 hour didn't work out because the conversation has gone on a very interesting tangent. But we have to look at bringing it to an end because yeah, we cannot do it throughout. But share with us, Lenin. We want to bring some other people on. Um, we want to bring some other people on. Help us select people you think can share some of these insights with us as well, so that we can bring some of them
Well,
on.
I for starters, my good friend Kwesi comes to mind.
Okay,
Kwesi is also a lawyer. He recently graduated from Harvard,
okay,
and I think Kwesi can give you a good perspective on the U.S. experience
yeah,
because he was also there for a while.
yeah.
I'm sure when we engage further over the period, we can get people to
All right.
come in.
All right. I have a couple of other people lined up from other countries. Very nice lined up, and we are going to be discussing with all of them. It's. I think that this is the way we can help because it is not everybody that we know. It's not everybody that knows us. You understand? So we can't go and get in touch with everybody one after the other. So this is going to be the only way, or at least one of the ways that we can give the information to some of the people who also want to travel out and do their graduate studies and all of that. So I'll be doing this probably once every month to see how it will go. So we will start discussing with the next speaker so that we see how things will go. Lenin,
Yeah.
we want to thank you so much for being here with us today.
It,
Yeah.
it, it
But
has been
before
a
you
great.
go, give shout outs to some of your Ghanaian friends watching us, so that it would be only ours. Yeah, yeah, we know that.
It's been a great experience being here this month, and thank you for putting this together to share our experiences with people. And I also want to thank everybody who came on. I know DNA came on. I know Afakoma came on. I also know Justin came on. A couple of others. But I want to say that the decision to live outside or pursue further studies outside Ghana is one that everybody has to make for themselves. Not everybody wants to, even though I recommend it, and that as many people as can should, because it broadens your horizon in a lot of ways, and it makes you reflect on a lot of your choices and practices that you are used to, because you get exposed to new things that makes you question them. And I want to say that once you make the decision to take time to invest in that decision and work towards getting it materialized, whatever it is, if you put in enough effort, it is sure to pay off sometime. I wish all of us well, and I hope we all get to do what we do best and reach the best of our potentials and the heights that the Almighty God has ordained for each of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Lenin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that will be all for Lenin. So we will just move on from here. All right. So, guys, this is how it's where, and this is how we're going to do it all the following months. Learning was supposed to be in August, so I'm sure we are going to work as fast as we can to put on the next person who is supposed to be for September. Um, but thank you guys so much for joining in, everybody who joined in. And remember, if you have not seen, I'm sharing that this video was produced by my very good friend and always he has been my producer throughout. So if you want to get on, or if you know that you can get someone on, you can contact Hamidu Tayari. I've put his email across the screen. You can send him an email and then discuss with him if you want to be on, or if you have some different set of ideas, different set of approaches or questions, or how you think that we can make this a better live stream. We are open to listening. Contact Hamidu and he will arrange everything with you perfectly. Thank you guys for listening to me. Thank you guys for coming. I'll see you later sometime next month.